Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Book Corner, where I am here to talk about a secret project that's been brewing in my mind for a few years now, that I finally have discovered that I actually have a lot for it that I didn't realize. So I was sitting here last night reading The Sweetest Kind of Poison, which is a self-published poetry collection by K.A. Weismer. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's tabbed to hell, but it's amazing, and there's so many great poems in here. And then it's also tabbed to hell in my actual Kindle version as well. There'll be a review of that. Probably already up on my channel by this video goes up. This is called the Poetry Diaries, is what I'm calling it. Sounds like a greater title in my head, but that's its title. And I have been writing poetry off and on since I was a freshman in high school. I wrote a story called The Man, which is a 3-book series. It's a 3-book trilogy that I wrote in like 6 weeks or something like that. I wrote all three all together. I think I wrote them in different times and different things, but all together it was like 6 weeks I wrote them all in. And it was a poetry collection, but it was a designated like crank and traffic, that type of poetry. I've never written poetry from my heart. Poetry like The Sweetest Kind of Poison, like Milk and Honey, like, like a memoir. Like, it's a moment in your life that you just want to cherish, you want to have forever. I've never had that. I've never written that I thought of. And I started thinking back, and yeah, I have. I just didn't realize. So I'm gonna go through all my documents that are on my Google Drive, and I'm gonna store all my poetry collection into one, and we'll see what we can make out of it, and we'll add things to it, and type of thing, and that's what this is. I'm gonna make myself a poetry collection. I don't know if anybody will ever see it, or if this is just something I really need to do. If you guys don't know right now, maybe by the time this video comes out, it won't be the same thing. But we're in a pandemic. I can't leave the house, and it's about to be May, and I really wanted to. I was gonna end up probably leaving my job a little earlier than I had expected from August to go into a place where I could work on my own mental health, my own problems, my own demons and trauma and things. And I can't do that now because we're in a pandemic. And I think this is weird because it's like a benefit factor that I took a year off, but also I waited to do this till last minute, and this shows that you shouldn't wait. You should put yourself first. I got a job first, is what happened in October. But, and so we're going to turn to writing, just like I always have done before. And this is a side project, it's a side hustle, it's nothing big, it's nothing major. And, we're going to go through all this, put it in a document. That's all I'm doing today. We'll look at it a different day, and then I'm going to work on some of my outline stuff so I can start writing this book, Broken Boys, in a few days, which should already be way past done. So, yeah, it's weird. You're going to see a progression of me, and it's going to be somewhat sad and scary. It's going to be very vulnerable. So if you want that type of content, stick around. If you don't care for that type of content, I have plenty of other things on this channel that you guys can go watch. So let's get started. Let's go collect the collectibles. Okay, so I collected all my poetry stuff. I have like 22 of them. It made me cry, and they were really good. I really liked all of them, which is really, really good. And I'll continue writing into that document until I'm pretty satisfied with the amount that I do have. The next thing I'm going to do is break them up into their own separate little sections and pages. Right now they're all meshed together. And then at the very end, after I write all this poetry and things, which poetry is one of those things that just comes to you. You're either in the mood to write it or you're not in the mood to write it. And I do feel like at 3 o'clock in the morning I'll be in the mood to write it. So, I do want to break it up, and so I can just keep track of how many pages and stuff it is. The formatting, all of that stuff is not done, but just so I have an idea. So that's the next thing to do. And then we'll move on in to writing new stuff. I want at least 60 or 70 poems just to play around with for this first collection. That might be a little too many, maybe 50, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I know some people have like 200, you never know. I do have other ones on my Instagram that I want to get off my Instagram that I posted on there. They're just like random things I've written that are like really short modern poetry, which is what this book would be, and so they're perfect, and so I just need to get them off so I can put them on there. And then we're gonna deep dive into my psyche, which is the whole point of this poetry collection, is to like really just work through some of my demons. So I'll see you guys when I get a little bit further. Okay, I'm sitting here working on the Poetry Diaries. Well, actually, it's the poetry. It's officially called Therapy Session, by the way. Um, and it's horrible. Like, I mean, this is not great poetry. I think there's a few in here that I would use, like a few catchy phrases or whatever. Um, but it is doing the trick, which is, you know, it's weird because I'm about to get into like, I want to try moving through the years. I'm doing this thing where I'm just kind of working through things, writing them randomly. And now I think what we're going to jump into is kind of working them through my years of life, which is going to be really hard because there's a lot of life up here that I don't really remember very much for reasons I don't want to get into. And a lot of these reasons are actually inside this book, inside this thing. It's not that we're counting words because it's only 1,500 words, which I don't know if that's a lot for. I don't even know how many words a normal poetry collection is. I don't even know. Like, it's not going to be this huge, big, gigantic, like, thing, which obviously it shouldn't be. It's a poetry collection and things. I divided up into 4 groups now. We're working through Scrivener, um, and I have 36 poems. I think my cutoff point is going to be like 70 or something like that. That at least squares away 70 pages of work. I want to get to like 150 poems because then we have at least 150 pages of work, which that's just how my brain works. And who knows, might get there, going through the years and things. Um, but I figured I'd update you guys. It's been a minute. This is a little bit different. It's me documenting a project that no one knows about. I said it, mentioning it in like a vlog that I'm working on it. My mom knows it's a secret project that she probably will never read, because it's a little too personal. A lot of things in here that we just don't talk about. So yeah, that's my update. There probably won't be any like montages or anything inside this video, by the way. So if there's things you're looking forward to, it's just mostly me rambling and seeing probably in somewhere the same places. But it's nice to write again. I'll say that much. Okay, so the actual writing portion of Therapy Session, which will be my first collection of poetry I ever officially wrote, is done. I'm staring at it right now. There's 45 different poems that were like a part of it and things, and it really did feel like I read it all not that long ago, a few minutes ago actually, and by the end I really truly did feel like it was coming to the end. It was the climax of this big huge thing, and I'm quite proud of all the poems that are in here and all the things. So now what we gotta do is we got to take over this PDF file, and I'm gonna take it over and put it onto my PC, and we're gonna work through it through a server, which will let me format it, and then I'll order a proof copy so I can actually have a physical copy of this. And yeah, and then we'll probably end up this video. Once I get the proof copy, I'll pull it out or whatever. It's kind of weird. There's a lot here. Some of it's old. Now everything here feels fresh and new. And I'm curious to see how I'm going to organize it, because I think that's a big part of a poetry collection, is the organization and things. And so we will see. But I figured out with you guys, Poetry Diaries. I had a lot of fun. It's not my only one. I didn't work through everything that I planned on working through, but for this particular collection, I do think it's the right place, the right ending place. So there will be a therapy session part 2, or rawness, or whatever I call it, that I will probably be working on here in the near future. But with this one, let's go ahead and get a printed copy and things. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Welcome to the last part of the Poetry Diaries. This was a very fun vlog to make over the month of May, as I created Therapy Session. Normally I would do an unboxing for this final part as I got it, but I was just so excited to do it yesterday. I was up for ungodly amount of hours and things, and so I have it right here. It's amazing. This is its 5th draft, by the way, which I don't think I mentioned. Almost the poems are perfected to perfection, which is great. Some of them are amazing. Let me read one. Smell is one of my favorites in here. His smell is new to me, fresh and bright, like untouched happiness. I love it. And there's some in here that I don't love. There's some in here that are so raw and personal that I hate with a passion, but I'm happy they're here. It's just my life in a little book, a very, very small, tiny book. But I love so much and adore with like all of my heart and things. And I'm really happy it brought some closure to a lot of things. But it's also something I can get to like a therapist one day and be like, hey, you want to know me without knowing me? Here you go, type of thing. Devour these. Deconstruct. Most of them are pretty straightforward. I don't hold anything back. Some of them are a little more vague and more metaphoric, but a lot of them are just very here and now. And speaking of here and now, I want to very quickly touch on what's going on in the world today. One, a happy Pride Month. As exciting as Pride Month it is, we're still going through a lot of horrible things here, especially in the U.S. I'm not sure about overseas. If there's any sad news you want to share with me, share, I guess, in the comments. But I don't know. I have a lot of links and stuff in the description down below that are permanently in there for the time being. And there are donations and petitions you guys can sign for the Black Lives Matter movement. And then there's also a whole booktube community of Black booktubers that it's going to be a whole playlist down below, which I'm so excited to have someone curate. I did not curate it. I think Marnie did. The name is down below as it's not my own curation. But I'm also trying to find a whole bunch of LGBT booktubers, some that I follow, some that I don't follow. Everybody on these lists I do subscribe to, at least now, as I'm trying to get to know them, and it's just amazing. It's such a good feeling to find people that you adore so much. So yeah, I want you to take this time to help support something that really needs to change. The way we do our life needs to change. I'm trying to become better and more educated in the situation, and I'm trying to be very vocal about everything, as everybody needs to hear about it, everybody needs to see it. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it in this particular video. But I'm excited. It's here, therapy session. It's here. It's all here, all its like little poetries and stuff. I'm super duper excited. I'm gonna do a video, by the way. This is not the last time you guys will see therapy session on this channel. I'm gonna do a video of a side-by-side comparison between a novel and and like poetry, and my personal opinion about the two and things. I'm actually about to sit down to do that video. But guys, if you enjoyed this video and you guys like the idea of it, let me know in the comments down below. And what you guys enjoy about it. And yeah. Do you guys want me to be more personal on the channel? I have shown a little bit of my life and stuff, not as much as I used to when I did my vlog over on my other channel, but I am trying. Look at her, she's so pretty. She's making all the appearances today. But I'm trying to be a little more outgoing and stuff. I think this month, I'm going to share my coming out story with you guys, which is going to be really, really hard and really difficult. But, I think that might be something I do. It's been a few years since it happened, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please make a big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. Hit subscribe. I'll see you all next time for another beautiful video. And thank you for watching, and goodbye.